Good day, everyone. I am Jalen Pimacasinag, the second reporter for the Group 11, and I will continue our report about the production, supply chain, and financial management. So, my covered topics are the best practices, tools, and application of supply chain, production and supply chain management, production and financial management, and supply chain financial management. So, best practices of supply chain in finance. Supply chain best practices ensure goods and services reach consumers using the means and methods readily available in the workplace environment. So, here's a list of supply chain best practices. So, first is creating a team of young supply chain professionals. So in here, some organizations partner with universities uh, to provide internship opportunities which help young individuals prepare for their career on supply chain professionals. So companies reach out to universities or the other institution to provide experience. So next is collaborating in the workplace. So some company implement collaborations to create interaction and connection with its employees to increase efficiency and create responsibilities, which increases the productions and uh, increase the means to solve problem. So next is building and maintaining relationships with other suppliers. So uh, in here, it helps build success for both parties. So like there's a connection between you and the suppliers, and so you as a company you can find someone who share the same values and goals. So in here, it improves the reliability of the supply due to having specific supplier. So next is the diversifying relationships with suppliers. So in here, you need to diversify or look for alternative suppliers in case there's an unforeseen event or challenges that may happen on your company. So yeah. So next is buying supplies in bulk. So buying supplies in bulk helps reduce the cost. So in here, uh, uh, it reduces the cost, which the cost might increase due to fluctuations of the market. So you are ready for um, uh, the increase in the cost. So next is planning for future demand. So in here, you need to be step ahead for future setbacks, which may help your business to avoid wastage and loss of revenue. So next is implementing an optimized inventory. So in here, you pursue the demand needed for the future. So you optimize your inventory uh, in meeting the expected demand in a specific period. So another practice is the establishing and monitoring performance metrics. So in here, it helps you monitor and analyze the performance of supply chain. So in this way, you can monitor on how they are doing and make changes to improve efficiency. So next is ensuring compliance with laws and active risk. So in here, you make sure to comply with the rules and regulations imposed by the authorities, in which helps to reduce the potential delays and other issues affecting the operation. So next is the automating the order to pay process to save time. So in here is a process in ordering in which it saves time, process gives efficiency and uh, faster delivery. So next is using the total cost of ownership to make decisions. So in here, it reduces the cost involved in the entire supply chain. So from transportation to warehousing, you need to consider the cost needed. So next is using a centralized document management system. So managing documents can be quite challenging. The centralized document management system are there to help manage documents efficiently from across the departments of the organization. So it helps the improve communication and uh, also improves the production. So next is the supply chain management tool. So supply chain management tool is an any device concept or system that is used to help oversee, control, and improve the flow of goods and services through the supply chain. In practice, it almost always refers to software application that serve certain key functions. So first is the order processing and tracking tools. So these management tools known as order management system helps manage the order life cycle from start to finish. So it helps reduces errors, increases accuracy and efficiency, and lastly improve customer service. So next is the inventory management. So in here it is the accounting of items, components, parts, and raw materials that the company use in production. So next is the specialized freight handling equipment. So in here, trucking service are used to transport cargoes or supply with extra care and attention. So next is the supplier and customer relationship management tool. So in here, companies use softwares to connect with supplier or the customers to facilitate and enhance the operation in which provide real-time updates to customer. So next is the automated warehouse system. So companies use technology to monitor warehouse operations, in which includes inventory management, order fulfillment, and handling of materials. So next is the bid and purchasing tools. So in here, companies use software to control and let customers purchase online. So next is the analytics tools. So lastly, it is used to review and analyze data of the business system. So a spreadsheet provides data which provide overview of the operations done throughout the production. So next is the supply chain application. So first is the demand planning, second is supply planning, third is production planning, third is vendor management, and fifth is shipping and logistics, and lastly the analytics. So first is demand planning. So demand planning is the process of predicting the future demand for finished goods so that delivery can reach customers on time. It uses forecasting and modeling to sense demand so other supply chain components can be triggered to bring in materials. So this type of application is used to forecast the demand needed in future. So a company predicts the future demand of customers in which they supply. So next is the supply planning. So supply planning is the process which used for procuring raw materials to meet the demand forecast. It includes purchasing, warehousing, and inventory control, and other order parameters such as optimum order points, minimum or maximum consideration, and lead time. So supply planning is connected with the demand planning. So after the demand planning, supply planning enters. So in here, it is the utilization of your resources to meet the demand of the consumers. And in short, is to supply or provide products. Next is the production planning. So this application ensures that machinery, labor, and materials are available to produce orders in time sequence to meet delivery deadlines. It may include capacity planning, labor center utilization, and parameters of the WIP. So it is type of application production runs smoothly and available for production. So there's the machines, the employees are in order. So next is vendor management. So traditional supply chain management was based on verbal agreements, fax orders, and emails. So vendor management now includes contract auditing and vendor performance evaluation. So in here, it describes the process of a company on how they manage on selecting their suppliers or their vendor, negotiating contracts, controlling uh, orders, and other vendor or supplier related matters. So next is the shipping and logistics. So shipping and logistics is an end-to-end supply chain application in which is only possible using advanced software, so and web-based application. With this, companies can better plan logistics and shipping to prevent bottlenecks, control costs associated with transportation, and manage incoming materials smoothly. So shipping and logistics in here, it makes saves it makes sure that the goods or supply arrive from the warehouse to the customer. So it is a process of acquiring, storing, and transporting supply to its final destination. So lastly, the analytics. Information is cleansed, analyzed, and insights are provided to users. This improves decision making and triggers automation in the form of autonomous or semi-autonomous actions. So analytics are at the center of all supply chain application and make the system work together seamlessly. So analytics gives an overview and of information of the operation, which results to better decision making. So next is the supply chain management. So what is supply chain management? So supply chain management, or SCM, is the monitoring and optimization of production and distribution of companies' products and services. So it seeks to improve and make more efficient all processes and make more processes involved in turning raw materials and components to final products and getting them to the ultimate customer. So supply chain management is seeing the product from the company up to the customer. So the raw materials are turned into a final product so it can be delivered to the customer. So it is monitored constantly, and the product is in a state of development. So there's a management of product. So there's 5 phases of supply chain management. So first is the planning, next is sourcing, next is the manufacturing or production, and next delivery, then lastly is the return. So first uh, first is planning. To get the best results from the supply chain management, the process usually begins with planning to match supply with customer and manufacturing demands. So companies must try to predict what their future needs will be and act accordingly. That means taking into account the raw materials or components needed during each stage of manufacturing, equipment capacity and limitations, and staffing needs. So planning, so in here it ensures that everything's in place, which companies predict what the future needs, and they will act according, or they will follow. So the raw materials are intact and processed, so they plan on what to do on the raw materials and turn it to product. So next is sourcing. So effective or effective supply chain management processes rely very heavily on strong relationship with suppliers. So sourcing entails working with vendors to supply the materials needed throughout the manufacturing process. So different industries will have different sourcing requirements. So sourcing. So in here, companies builds relationship with its suppliers. So companies work with the suppliers to acquire materials needed for the production for their production. So So next is the manufacturing or production. So using machinery and labor to transform the raw materials or components the company has received from its suppliers into something new is the heart of the supply chain management process. So this final product is the ultimate goal of the manufacturing process. Through it is not the final stage of supply chain management. So the manufacturing process may be further divided into subtasks such as assembly, testing, inspection, and packaging. During the manufacturing process, companies must mindful of waste or other factors that may cause deviations from their original plans. For example, if a company is using more raw materials than planned and sourced for due to inadequate employee training, it must rectify the issue or visit the early stages in supply chain management. So, manufacturing or production. In here, the raw materials are turns into a final product which undergo various processes before heading for delivery. So next is delivery. Once products are made and sales are finalized, a company must get those products into the hands of its customers. So a company with effective supply chain management will have robust logistic capabilities and delivery channels to ensure timely, safe, and expensive delivery of its product. This includes having a backup of diversified distribution methods should one method of transportation temporarily be unusable. For example, how might a company's delivery process be impacted by record snowfall in distribution center areas? So, delivery. So in here, the product is finally shipped from the company to the customer. So a company ensures that the product arrives safely and on time. So next is the returns. The return process is often called reverse logistics, and the company must ensure that it has the abilities to receive return products and correctly assign refunds for them. Whether a company is conducting a product recall or a customer is simply not satisfied with the product, the transaction with the customer must be revisited. So in here, returns is the last phase of supply chain management in which in which is the return. So in here, companies receive products from customers who's not satisfied with the product. So the customers can return the product that they receive if it is not up to their standard. So the company might also benefit from it as they can identify certain parts of their product to improve. So next is the definition of production. So production is one of the most widely used terms and it is constantly found in the conversations of business magnates. Be it small-scale industries or large-scale industries, the type and size of the firm or organization don't matter since everyone works their best for achieving success. So production essentially refers to the procedure of using numerous inputs for obtaining required output. This output is known as production. So the production should be quantitative as well as the qualitative. So another term is the production is the maximum utilization of the available resources and it undergoes various processes for producing goods and services. The function of the production is necessary and fundamental to every businesses since the returns depend majorly on productivity. So in short, production means turning raw materials into a product. So it can be a product or it can be a service. So there's different types of production. So first is the unit or the production. Next is a batch production. Next is a mass or low production, and lastly the process or continuous production. So unit or job production. This is the single unit of production to a single customer. The term unit suggests the same theory, so its features are dependent on customer service and support. It is also depends on human resources such as communication, skill, and etc. than the machinery. So example, bakeries, restaurants, tailoring shop, and etc. So it's a one-man job, so it doesn't require machineries or other equipment. So in bakeries, they use hand to hand or manually produce uh, bread. So in restaurants, chefs, cooks, and next is the tailoring shop. So the tailors sew the sew clothes after their most skills. So next is the batch production. So this is another important classification that concentrates on the production of the group of products within the same period. So most appliances and durables fall in this category. The manufacturer knows the volume of product is required before the start of production. This type of production depends on the season and involves high risk if it has stopped in the middle. So example of batch production is soaps, beverages, food products, pharmaceutical formulation, and etc. So batch production uh, usually are products usually um, needed for everyday use. So the soaps, the beverage, food products, and etc. So next is the mass or flow production. So this type of production applies to large scale industries since they produce goods and items in bulk quantity. And once the production is completed, they start all over again. Example of this is car manufacturing companies, clothes, food products, electronic goods, and etc. So just like in electronic companies like cell phones, they produce uh, large quantities or bulk, so that and after they produce bulk quantity, they start all over again. Next is a process or continuous production. So these are similarities with mass production. However, it is a completely different type of production. In this type, the process plays a key role since the process of manufacturing goes on continuously. Example of this is brewery, oil refinery, paper production, and etc. So process or continuous production simply means production that that is repeatedly or continuously uh, created, so that just like day-to-day needs of the people, the papers, the um, for food, or the oil. And that concludes my report, and I thank you.